Hey, so that was kind of interesting yesterday, wasn't it? Interesting synchronicity. Stuff like that. Just little things that where the coincidence or the occurrence of things, how they happen. I have things like that happen to me all the time. Just little things that, like, wow, that was a strange coincidence. And then other times where things will happen and it'll happen again. It's like, well, that was no coincidence. Um, I still don't actually know what happened, but I'm assuming that again, like I said, my neighbors lost their power. About a half hour later, the power company is driving through the neighborhood, and then a little bit later, my neighbors get their power back. So that ended that video. Um, People are always making recommendations to me. I'm happy to say that quite a bit of the time when people recommend stuff to me, I already know about it. I'm not a know-it-all, but I do know I know a little bit. Someone mentioned this album to me. Marjorie Razorblade by Kevin Coyne. He was in the band Siren before that, one of the first signings to John Peel's Dandelion Records label. Don't listen to this much, but it's an important record. I remember when it came out. The one that I enjoy of his is the one he made with Dagmar Krause, Babel. I played this one not that long ago. Kevin Coyne has a voice that will make people run from the room if, you love it or hate it. Yesterday I got a package from Vijay Prabhubadas. Now I'm just started to get into the records, and so I do this a lot. I say I'm going to review them later, but I can already give you some feedback on these, Vijay. Thank you so much. Vijay is a member of the VC. I see him posting on Facebook quite a bit. And he shared with me that he started a record label. That's pretty ballsy in this economy. From my perspective, it's a very risky thing to do. But he sent me some records, some of his releases, and a couple of other things. Sent them to me in this bag, end of an ear. Apparently this is a record store, I guess. It's the name of Robert Wyatt's first solo album, which I do have. Let me talk a little bit about these already, because I went to an event last night. This is the sixth year of the Under the Radar Festival happening here in Omaha. It's an avant-garde music festival that I'm participating in. I tried to get Ron Anderson involved, and I'm disappointed that they turned him down, but they still included me. So I'm performing at the wrap-up, the final performance of the festival Saturday night. I'm part of the headlining roster. I love it. But after the show, I came home and spent a little bit of time playing these records that Vijay. I didn't play them all. Okay, so I can only talk a little bit. Actually, I think this is what I can do. I can tell you about the ones that I played, because I'm looking here and realizing, no, I didn't play them all. So I'll talk about the ones I did play. Thank you, Vijay. I'll start with this one, which is not on your label. This is a shoegaze record I didn't know about. You may have shown it when it came out, but I never had a chance to hear it or come across a copy. The Day Sleepers, Drowned in a Sea of Sound. This is fabulous. This is the real deal. It's a New York band, and they get it right. They get the dream pop shoegaze slow dive axis down. It's beautifully melodic. There's female vocals, the wash of guitars. It's a little derivative, but the thing is that sound is so wonderful. Go there. This came out in like 2008. I'd never heard it before, and not saying I'm surprised because I can't hear everything, but this is just what I like. And Vijay, as I picked up on looking at your collection and your comments regarding records, you have good taste, which also I'm honored to say that you've bought my records, you know, and you like them. And it's like, well, yeah, my music is good. And it's like, yeah, okay, all right. That was a quick aside. This is really good. The Day Sleepers, for you shoegaze dream pop listeners, that if you missed out on this like I did, get on, check it out now. The Day Sleepers. It started up and immediately I was thinking, wow, this is really good. I didn't know about this. And if I had read about it, because I do try to read, and a lot of times I come across stuff, but I don't retain it. So I may have read about it, but I never got it. So thank you, Vijay. Here's one. Okay, so I'll do this. This one I have to come back to. This is the first release on Vijay's new record label, Northern Range Records. I was asking Vijay about this, and he explained to me that he is originally from Trinidad, and that the Northern Range is a mountain range that he would see all the time while living there. The first release on his label is this band from Trinidad called Joint Pop. And this is called From Trinidad with Love. Now, I just popped this on because it was the least interesting immediately to my taste. Now, let me qualify this, because I can tell this is a really good band. I can imagine in Trinidad, I've never been there, this band might be a super group or highly regarded. I can tell that this band has great musicianship and experience. You can hear it in the playing. My impression, when it starts off, I can tell by the first two songs that there's going to be a variety. So I'm sure I'm going to dig this, but I'm just explaining right away the importance of this album. It strikes me almost like a band like almost like a Bruce Springsteen, or just like a band or the band. They sound like they're capable of playing almost anything, and I hear experience. So this is what I'm going to come back to and get familiar with. Okay? But I played more of this, and this is another release on Vijay's label, and this is excellent. The Dandelion War. We were always loyal to lost causes. Right quick, this is a limited edition of only 100 copies. I'll leave a link. Support this label. This one, you got to get this. This is fantastic. Now, I didn't know about this. This originally came out, I guess, in 2012 on CD only. This is what they call post-rock. The description here is good. Somewhere, if you like Radiohead, Sigur Rós, Explosions in the Sky, Piano Magic, you're in the right territory. This is beautiful. I didn't pick up on the words. As I was speaking to someone online earlier this morning, someone sent me a joke, a link to a song that's funny, saying, I hope that this helps your day get started. And I just told him I'm not going to watch it. I don't care about lyrics, and I don't need empty humor right now. It doesn't help. I want people to wake up and get mad. Stop trying to deflect. We need to get active. So anyway, I don't know what the words were about here, but the music is gorgeous. This is a limited edition of 300 copies. I have one of the clear. He sent me one of the clear vinyl. There's 3 different configurations of it. This is done beautifully. 180 gram, really high quality pressings. The music and the care and the weight of this music hits me right away. Really like this. I want to highly encourage folks to check this out and grab a copy. There's only 300 of them. Vijay is doing a great thing by starting this label, Northern Range Records. This is high quality, soulful, deep music. This is really good. Hats off to you, Vijay, for having the courage to take this on. I think economically it's really very, very risky. And I hope that I can help you sell some of these. And I'll be listing more. He sent me some more records. I haven't listened to them yet, so I won't show them yet. I also received from a new listener a CD, and I just touched on this quickly. Thanks for sending it to me, Scott. South Holes, Me Tarzan, You Jane. Now, you're fairly new, but I hope you watched enough videos to catch where I've told people, if you want to send me your music, be sure that you're objective about what you're doing, because I'm going to be honest in my response to the music. I'm not going to be mean, but you describe this as a garage band that you used, that an old garage band, and it sounds to me like I have to listen to it more. My first impression was, yeah, this is pretty loose. These vocals are, it's like, whoa, these vocals are really, And you know it, Brother Scott. These vocals, raggedy, raggedy. Now, as far as the music, I'll come back to it. You described it as a garage band, so I'm assuming that maybe you guys weren't taking yourselves too seriously, really enjoying it. I'll get back to it, okay? Alrighty. Thank you for sending it to me. But please, folks, I'm going to be honest. I'll try to be nice, but I ain't going to lie if something... I'm not going to lie, all right? Okay. I know you all love those polls, but before I do one, if I can get to it, I'm in a few progressive rock groups on Facebook where people talk about records, and some people are real nerds about pressings. I'm not. I like it when I happen to find out that I have first pressings, but I don't have the money to be into that. I have the Caravan's second album. If I could do it all over again, I'd do it all over you. It's a UK pressing, and I'd never really paid much attention to whether it's a first or second. So last night it was being discussed, and I looked, and mine's a second pressing. It's the SKLR. Big fucking deal. This is a wonderful... sounds just like the cover. Caravan, they just take me away. Those are my boys. This was being discussed. John Anthony, the producer of this, John Anthony, who's produced everyone from Queen to Genesis to you name it, is a friend of mine on Facebook. He posts a lot. I can see why, because John has depression. He has major depression. He's older than me. So I can imagine he spends a lot of time just in front of the computer. But he's posting a lot of his history, and it's fascinating, his stories and the people that he knows. And he was talking about this album that he produced, Colin Scott, folk singer. Of note, John was able to get a bunch of his friends to play on this, but they don't make it sound like them. John Anderson from Yes, Jane Ralph from Renaissance, Peter Gabriel, other members of Genesis, all these Phil Collins, all these progressive rock people are on this album, but you don't hear them. You hear Colin Scott. When I first bought this, I bought it because of that connection, and was disappointed because I was a nerdy, I'm into Genesis, and that's what I want to hear. Night People is the only song that even hints at that. Van der Graaf Generator members are on here too. But now I played this after reading what John Anthony said about this, and it's like I hear it completely different now. And it's like it's a Colin Scott album. And these people played on it out of respect for him and their friendship with John. This is really good. Colin Scott. Really happy about that. And John Anthony talks to people. He's responded to me. We had a conversation on his birthday about his depression. I love being connected to these people, even though it's only mainly online, but I'm really connected to these people who have shaped my life through their music and their work. John Anthony is a great producer. And yeah, somebody ought to write a book about him. He's writing his own book. Okay, so let's do a quick poll. I'm just going to go right here. Now, I could go all kinds of places, but I'm going to go right here because it's right there. Elvin Jones. Well, now, we all know that Elvin Jones, again, is he's a history-making, style-changing drummer. You know, his stuff with John Coltrane, his entire polyrhythmic style. You know, Mitch Mitchell of Jimi Hendrix Experience was totally trying to do Elvin Jones, which is what gives those early Jimi Hendrix records before Buddy Miles, gives them that interesting rhythmic feeling. Elvin Jones. Polycurrents. Of the albums of his that I have, this one I'm least familiar with. Genesis by Elvin Jones is one of my favorites by him, and that's over there. Who's on here? George Coleman, Joe Farrell. Yeah. Again, one to play, okay? You know, I kind of know where things are, sort of, but I don't. So that's why when I do it like this and don't really look, well, how about that? I was just talking about Elvin Jones. Joe Farrell plays sax on here. Here is my favorite Joe Farrell album. It's a reissue, Song of the Wind, on CTI. It first came out on CTI with a different cover, a candle, I believe is what it is. I love this album so much. John McLaughlin is on here. Oh, I love this album so much. This whole album is fantastic. Jazz, I have to make sure. Chick Corea, yeah. Jack DeJohnette, John McLaughlin. Oh my God. The version of Song of the Wind on here. Oh, I just love it. I just love this album. Motion. Joe Farrell. That's one of my Desert Island albums. I just love that album. Yeah. Okay. Up. Okay, that's where the hand went. What is it? What is it? Is it a dud? Oh, hell no. Luke Ferrari, Presque Rien, on the GRM label. Ina GRM from France, the forerunners of setting up electronic music studios and experimenting with sound. This sort of stuff I just love. But it's interesting. I did actually hear some of this recently. I have it on my computer as well. Sound exploration. It's kind of like these guys, to me, with guys like this, Luke Ferrari, and I'm trying to think of some of the other names. They remind me of scientists who have, when they first discovered microscopes. It's like they're taking microscopes to sound and turning it and just showing us all these different things going on in the world of sound. I find this work fascinating, and I really do get drawn into it when I listen to it. There can be times when I find I'm not in the right mood, or I'm not I don't have the time to be patient to let things unfold. And that's the way to listen to this music. You need time and just to open up, okay? All right, we'll go see what's here. What is here? What is this? What are we into here? Oh, this is my Eno section. Small Craft on the Milk Sea. When this first came out with Leo Abrahams and John Hopkins, I didn't like it too much. It's taken me a while. And this is, I'll bet if you ask Eno what he thinks about this, he'll probably say, we probably should have worked on this a little bit longer. Having said that, I'll see what it sounds like today. Okay, that's about 20 minutes. Let me stop here. Okay? Last thing I'll say is, Arthur, I hope that the t-shirt gets to you. I think it's an absolute shame that I'm basically being put out of business by the postage as far as sending stuff overseas. It costs me $24 to mail a t-shirt or a record to Europe or elsewhere. That's insane. And the post office tells me that's my only option. It's first class. So do I understand if no one else overseas buys any of my stuff? I do, but it really makes me sad. It's sad. You know, it's like it's on purpose to just crush the little guy.